So I'm sitting on the floor today because I am going to show you some of my lower back exercises. If you watched yesterday's episode, you will remember some of the exercises that the doctor was talking about with spinal loading extension. I don't know if I'm saying that in the right order. And how we had to work with exercises that actually helped instead of provoked the pain that I was having. So after being assessed, we realized that me touching my toes and folding forward was not helping me. Where I actually thought that that was helping me. I thought like doing yoga and stretching forward and pushing through the pain to stretch was helping, and it was not. It was making it worse. So it's important to know that these exercises that I'm about to show you are specifically for my condition. Maybe you have the same issues as I do, maybe you don't. So I'm not showing this to you like, hey, this will fix your back. The reason why I'm showing it to you is because I have 3 things here that I can do these exercises with at home. And it takes me roughly 5 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day, okay? And in that little bit of work and time, I've gone from walking crooked to where I'm at today, to where I'm able to touch my toes and being released into being able to do my regular exercises, along with, as we said, graduating into stage 4, which is preventative, to where the core strengthening exercises are going to really come into play for me to prevent things from happening in the future. So first, I know the first thing that we started with was a breathing exercise for me, and we discussed it yesterday, and I'm going to tell you what, that was the hardest thing for me. Why was it the hardest thing for me? Because we're so used to breathing from our chest, not filling our abdomen with air. So for me, it was like, wait, when am I supposed to be filling this? How am I supposed to be doing it? It wasn't something that I normally do. But as the doctor said yesterday, filling your abdomen with the air and the pressure helps support your spine. So breathing is number 1. So we had to retrain me how to breathe. Now, I probably don't always breathe like that, but it's most important that I do if I'm doing weight-bearing exercises or anything like that, to where I'm going to be really using my back outside of just getting up and down off of a chair, which, by the way, was very difficult for me in the beginning. So all I'm going to do is show you 3 simple little exercises. So the first one that I did, and this was, like I said, the breathing. So seriously, I have a folding chair. I have yoga blocks, which I didn't start with yoga blocks. Remember, he said that we just kind of did the little spinal extension, weight bearing or loading type thing, and I was just on my elbows in the beginning. So, and I also have a resistance band. So this is the one that, I mean, all these are going to look really silly, but it's worth not to pay, okay? And it's probably pretty silly with me sitting on the floor doing this. So this little band goes under your knees. Simple, right, okay. So I may disappear for a second, but I'm still going to talk. So let me make sure I'm in the camera. Okay. So you're laying down, your feet are together, you crisscross these bands. Now at first I did not do this. He was actually just putting some pressure on my legs. But this, seriously, once you have put some pressure onto your glutes and you pull those legs open a little and you lay down and you're breathing and you fill your abdomen with air, you can actually feel that pressure. And for me, it actually alleviated some of the pain as I did this. And I don't know if you can see or not my stomach. I'll do one more, filling up with air. So seriously, you guys, that was my first exercise that I had to do to start with this therapy. Pretty simple, right? Right. You know, I mean, it's not that difficult. I don't need anything. You know, there was no excuse for me not to do it. I am going to show you one exercise that I did have an excuse for because I hated it. But I really needed it. And I realized that, yeah, if I didn't do this, I was just going to have the pain. So I got to choose. Do I want to do the exercise or do I want to be in pain? And I was frustrated and aggravated at myself for not doing it because I knew I needed to. So now yesterday the doctor was talking about like, hey, just kind of sitting or laying down like this. You know, hey, you're just watching TV like this. So in the beginning, this was slightly painful, okay? This is heaven to me now, to where it got to the point where we brought me up like this. And then you just relax everything forward, and you just let your stomach sag, and ironically, this is exactly what I needed to help me, which slightly readjusts your spine naturally without having to be cracked and stuff. So because I was progressing and I was flexible in my spine, we went to yoga blocks. Not necessarily something you need, but it worked for me. So I come up like this. Now, this is something I have to do repetitively. I can't just do one and call it a day. You know, you can't just brush one of your teeth and be like, I'm cool, I don't have cavities, I'm good to go. So I would do, you know, a few of these, a couple of sets, 2 sets of 10, whatever it was, okay? So this is all the things that I was doing that I needed to do to help my back. Remember, me coming forward was provoking the pain. However, I'm graduating. But now I'm going to show you the exercise that I hated. I hated this one, and you're going to look at it and be like, yeah, I actually hate it too. I'm a big person who likes all different kinds of plank movements, okay? But for some reason, because someone was telling me I had to do this, I didn't want to do it. But then I realized, like, hey, don't be stupid. It's actually helping you. So this crazy one, and the first time I did it, I was like, wait, you want me to do what? Now remember, breathing. Breathing comes with all of this. So when you're in this position, then all of a sudden he's like, okay, breathe and fill your abdomen with air. So picture that. So it's kind of like a side plank. It's supported on your knee. So we're loading my knee with the weight, which then fires up my glutes. And when I say fire, I mean biscuits are burning fire, because you're doing like 10 breaths on each side, and you repeat it 3 to 4 times each side. I'm only going to do one side. So you get your wrists down here, elbow and shoulder are lined up, hips are lined up, this leg is out. So you all of a sudden, and I didn't even know what the heck I was supposed to be doing, is you come up. Okay, now if you look at me, I don't have all the weight in my knee right now because I'm sagging a little here. So I have to come up more to where I'm engaging my glutes. I know, it looks funny, right? And then all of a sudden, let's breathe and fill our abdomen in. So I'm just going to do a few of them. Now, that 10 times, and then you flip over and do the other side 10 times, and keep repeating it. That was the one that probably got me to the graduation phase, to where I can start to reintroduce things as far as flexing forward. So in comes the chair to the picture, right? And I remember laughing about it because the doctor said, you know, medical care doesn't have to be expensive. We try to make it cheap. We try to make it easy for you to do these things at home. Just like he said, so you don't have to rely on physical therapy 3 times a week for 4 months. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I've been through all of it, and it's helped me. This has been the most beneficial to my, I guess I could call it recovery from my incident in November, okay? So, hopefully I'll still be in the scene here. So, folding chair. I kind of escaped for a second. Folding chair. Sit at the end. Your legs are out, so they're already flexed. Feet are flexed, and here's what I do. I fold forward, and I grab the chair, and I come up. Again, it's another repetitive thing, but it's flexing me forward, which in the beginning, I couldn't do. So now this is what I do. These are my exercises, you guys. So simple and easy. And soon, I graduate into, like I said, the preventative core exercises, which you guys will be coming with me on Saturday to see some of the things that I will be doing with a bunch of other people. And I actually, you're invited. It's open to the public. It's open to, you know, if you want to come to Anytime Fitness in St. John, it's 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. All you have to do is register. I put the link in yesterday's. I will put it in today. The reason why I'm sharing these, now let me just say this again, because these exercises may not work for everybody. And I know this for a fact because my sister also has herniated discs. She had surgery. Her therapy is complete opposite of what mine is, okay? So what aggravates her pain helped my pain. It's very, very important to know that. And I wouldn't have known that because I just thought, hey, Me stretching, this is great. I'm going to stretch through the pain. With this, it's not a no pain, no gain type thing. It's like, hey, you're making yourself have more pain. I would never have known that had I not been assessed by the doctor and been educated. Okay, so that is why I'm trying to put this out there, because yes, 85% of people will or are suffering with lower back pain or any kind of back pain. And probably 50% of that 85 will go have surgery. I was told I needed surgery and I refused. And I think the doctor was not happy with me for refusing. But I just was not going to be one of those people in the office who was picking myself up and wincing in pain and walking with a cane or a walker. I just wasn't going for that, I wasn't having it. So this was my alternative. So I want to show people, and I so wish, I always say this, I'm like, you should take film of people when they first come in versus how they are 3-4 months later, 3 weeks later, whatever it is, because I could not touch my toes. Tying my shoes was painful. You do not have to live in that pain, okay? My biggest fear was, yes, that my only alternative was surgery, and I wouldn't be any better afterwards. And I know a lot of people who are in that boat right now. So, like I said, you cannot undo what's been done in surgery. I've undone what was done to me as far as, I haven't undone my herniated discs. Please don't think that I have miraculously found a doctor that has magic dust that cures you. But I've learned through education and through being assessed what exercises work for me and what I need to do to prevent it from happening in the future. Now, don't get me wrong, I am concerned of hurting my back again, so I'm very still hesitant about doing certain things. I can sit for longer periods of time without it hurting me. I can walk for longer periods of time without my back hurting me. I don't even know how to say it, because I was literally frustrated and at the point where I was like, this is it. This is how I'm going to live. And in my mind, I said, oh no, I will not live this way. I'm not living in pain. And you shouldn't have to either, because if you're suffering from any kind of pain, I urge you, especially if you live locally. If you don't live locally, you want to find someone, you want to find a doctor who deals with this McKenzie therapy, and I have to write it down. I don't know all the words, but I mean, it's not just chiropractic care, okay? Chiropractic care saved me from having surgery all these years, but I took it a step further with this doctor, who is a chiropractor also, but it went a step further to where I am now learning how to prevent it. I've learned exactly what causes the pain, what helps the pain, what to do, what not to do. And I want everybody to know that. I want you guys to know that surgery may not just be your only option, or shots may not be your only option, or pain medication every day that puts you to sleep for 5 hours after you take it is not your only option. And that's all it did, was put me to sleep. It did not help the pain. It really didn't, you guys. So, what we did, we went from point A, where the pain was coming down my leg, like he said yesterday, to bringing it centrally located in my spine, in the middle of my spine, to where it doesn't even really faze me there so much anymore. And now we're reintroducing what was causing the pain before, slowly reintroducing it the right way, to where when I do this, which if he's watching, he may yell at me. When I do this extending, when I extend forward, I'm supposed to get right over here and do my extension, because I'm supposed to undo it. I'm supposed to realign everything the way it's supposed to be, that works best for me. So it's not a point where I'm not going to be able to do any of these things ever again, because, I mean, yes, there are certain things I am a little scared to do, but I was always like, I don't want to do this because I'm afraid I'll hurt my back. I don't want to do this because I'm afraid I'll hurt my back. Now with this breathing exercising and with learning this core, which I told you I'm a little scared about this, because this is like core stuff that I've never seen before, okay? I mean, I've seen some of it, but I've never really, it's some serious stuff. So I cannot wait to bring that to you guys on Saturday. So that's all I have for you guys. I just want to let you know that it's not always, surgery is not always going to be an answer for you. look for another alternative. I don't care if it's your neck, your shoulder, your knee, your back, your toe, whatever it is, because seriously, like I said, if you're local, he doesn't just deal with spines, okay? He deals with a lot of other things, like orthopedically, if that's the word I'm using correctly. Check him out. The link is in my blog, on yesterday's blog. The link is in my live from yesterday, as to ask him questions, whatever it is. You know, I mean, he's here to help. That's his thing, you know, and I'm here to spread the word as to how much better I feel about everything and how much less pain I'm in. You know, they give you that scale of 1 to 10, and I was at a 15 to begin with 10 being the highest. I'm at like a 1.5, 2 sometimes. Most of the time I'm at a 0. So just know that it's possible. It's not, you don't have to live in pain. So find another alternative. Get a second opinion. See if you can fix it through some sort of therapeutic exercises with this spinal loading stuff. Because to me, I'm so glad and so forever thankful that this was introduced to me, because things are way different for me now. And I can't wait to see how this core class goes and those exercises, because I am nervously flipping excited about it. So you guys have a great day, and if you know someone who has back issues or any kind of pain, share this video with them. Not for the exercise purposes, but for the purposes of, hey, she couldn't even touch her toes. And if you ask anybody that saw me in November or whatever it was, I was pretty crooked. I was like really crooked. Just standing up straight was like this for me. And it hurt. If I did bend forward, my hips were so uneven, and tying my shoes was, you don't have to live that way. Try to find another way outside of being all cut up on. And like I said, if that's your answer and that's the only alternative you have, then that's fine. But I urge you to do some homework and check out some other things that could avoid surgery and recovery. I just didn't want any of that. So hopefully this has enlightened you guys to kind of do some homework and check into it and see if, like, hey, I don't want to be in pain. I really don't. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, email me, whatever, comment on this below, because seriously, guys, 14 years of dealing with back pain, and now I'm like, whoa, how come I didn't know about this how many years ago, you know? I mean, I've been through a lot of things as far as to try to keep it up. No surgery, don't want to have surgery, don't ever want to go into the surgeon's office again. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So thanks for getting on and watching me roll around on the floor with my crazy exercises. I appreciate it. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode.